Well, welcome back, everyone. This is Dan Oweiler, the retirement professor. Good to have you today. The last couple of weeks, I introduced my son, Kyle, who came on board with us here a couple of months ago. And today, I'm going to introduce my son-in-law, Ben Ashworth, who actually came on board here a week or so ago. He married my daughter when she was up at college, and Ben has been working in the digital marketing area up in Utah, and I was able to talk him into coming down and working in the family business. So welcome, Ben.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You grew up where?
I grew up in Provo, Utah.
Okay. Big metropolis up there?
Yeah, it sure is.
Okay. And went to BYU for a while.
I did.
And then graduated from UVU, is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Utah Valley University.
That's correct.
In digital marketing.
I actually graduated in entrepreneurship.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, business management major with an emphasis in entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So.
And you have one little boy.
Yes, I do.
Okay, and one coming, right?
Yep. Any day now.
Any day now.
Yeah.
Okay. It's supposed to be here when?
April 11th.
April 11th. Okay. So mom's probably pretty excited to have that day come.
Yeah, she's very excited. She's ready. She's ready for the baby to be here.
Well, good. Well, tell us a little bit about your background. You were working with a Fortune 500 company.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So a little bit about my background. So by heart, I've always been an entrepreneur, always looking for new opportunities to be able to create value. And so that's what I went to school for. I started a company with my brother and really got into digital marketing at the time. Because it was an online store. We were doing e-commerce. And
how long ago was that?
This was probably about 7 years ago.
Okay.
When we started doing this. And that's when I really started to learn more about, you heard all these acronyms out there of SEO, paid search, like PPC and these types of things, and I had no idea what they meant at all. I just thought...
Which I don't either.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I just kind of thought you put a website together and, the people would start coming. But that's a little more complicated than that, and, over time I learned to kind of master those arts of search engine optimization, pay-per-click advertising, affiliate marketing, even stuff in print media, as well as email marketing and all those different types of areas. So after moving from that business, I got into a Fortune 500 company where they wanted to start testing into digital marketing. They didn't do a lot of digital marketing. It was more of direct-to-home sales that they were focused on. And so we were giving a budget of about $20,000 a day to kind of test into this and see how it works. And over time, even this last year, we saw 100% year-over-year growth from our digital marketing, which is pretty fantastic. And that came from being mostly data-driven and kind of looking at every dollar and cent that we spent and really trying to optimize to the best of our abilities. So.
And then your father-in-law comes to you and says, hey, you want to change careers.
That's right, yeah. That's right, yeah. So that was the next step for me. And I've always been intrigued with the financial industry since I was younger. I was always, again, kind of the entrepreneurial side of me.
Right.
I was always evaluating businesses and kind of looking at their P&L ratios and identifying, what's a good stock that I can invest into. I've always been in more of the short-term securities game, right? And looking at mostly stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and things like that, where I can make a quick penny, any day. But I think where I really got intrigued with the industry was after sitting down, visiting with you, and even talking to my parents and their friends of saying, man, I have this financial advisor that said they'd keep my money safe, and they just haven't been able to do so.
Right.
And so, and after watching your seminars and obviously being married to your daughter, I know that there's a lot of trust there. Sure. And there's a lot of great opportunity, especially with it being a family business, because you do have a monopoly on your integrity. Sure. Right? And I think that's where you've been able to really capitalize on the market, and that's why you've been able to be as successful as you have been. Well,
we've always told people we're not here to make you rich. We're here to make sure your money is there when you need it.
Exactly.
Okay, and so there's a different approach that we take in regards to sitting down with clients or prospects, to be honest with you. And the first goal is to find out what exactly it is that they want to do. Sure. A lot of times when people come in, they don't really understand what they want. They know they want something, but we help try to crystallize. And do you really want to grow your money, or do you want to make sure that it's safe? Well, everybody wants to grow. Everybody wants a lot of income. Everybody wants it safe, and everybody wants it liquid. Unfortunately, you can't have all of them.
Right.
And so what we try to do is we try to sit down with each client and say, okay, let's crystallize what it is that you want to do. Now, I know you've had an opportunity to sit on a few of those things since you've come on board. Has that enlightened you very much?
Oh, it definitely has. I mean, I've always kind of understood that, but it hasn't been as clear as sitting down in meetings with you.
Right.
Just that, for me, with being a young tyke, that I love to be able to see growth, right?
Sure.
And because I want to see a lot of growth in my money, there's going to be a lot of risk. So I'm not going to have that safety.
Right.
But I could tell you this, if I was in a position of retirement and just needing a steady income,
Sure.
I would be a lot more safe with my money.
Right.
And I think that's what's so beneficial with sitting down with you, is that you educate them very well of understanding that you can't have all of these.
Yeah, you're in a different situation than our clients are. And
Right.
I tell my clients, you know, how we invested our money at age 35 is different than how we invested at age 65 or 70.
Right.
Like you said, we need a lot of growth. You're trying to build up equity in a home or trying to get into a home, and so you need a lot of growth in investments that'll give you a lot of appreciation, because you've got the time to ride out markets.
Right.
Okay. When you retire, you know, I've always told them it's not how much money we make that matters, it's how much money we keep.
Exactly.
Okay, and so, you know, you have to take that into account as you're working with people at this stage in their lives. And so I think that there's probably been some education on your part in regards to rather than making a quick buck,
Right.
making sure your money is there.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah.
So coming on board, you're kind of in charge of our digital marketing, so to speak.
Yep.
You're redesigning our websites. You're trying to do some things. Tell us.
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty complicated. There's a lot that's involved.
And I don't know anything about that, right?
Sure. Well, no, you're becoming a lot more educated in it, which is fantastic. So yeah, there's a lot that's going on in digital marketing right now in the world, and websites, they can't just stay stagnant and sit there for a long time. It's kind of a living, growing, organic thing now, where you have to continually add relevant new content to it. You have to mark it up properly, is what they say, to know that you're tackling the right keywords so that people can find you.
Sure.
Because that's really what's going to help establish your brand and help grow in that sense. And then you obviously have the advertising side, which has existed since the dawn of man, when you know, markets were created.
Sure.
Right? That you had advertising of being able to show that you have a diversified product or service that will entice customers to come in your door. So
yeah, well, we've always said we don't have a monopoly on investments or products that we use. We have a monopoly on the integrity and how we treat our clients. That is specific to our company itself. And as a family-run business, that seems to resonate with people, that it's nice that they've got a family-run business and not just in it for a quick buck type of thing.
Definitely. And my goal is to ultimately be able to take that idea and ensure that everybody's able to see that.
Sure.
Because that's what's going to diversify us. And it should, because there are financial advisors out there that really only care about selling you a product.
Sure.
They don't necessarily care about selling you a relationship and ensuring them that their money is going to be safe.
Right.
So.
Well, it's good to have you on board.
Thank you.
You know, we're excited to have you. More excited to have my grandkids in town, though. But you know how that is. But
exactly.
Well, folks, here we are. We're entering into the latter part of tax season. Want to make sure that you get all your taxes in order. If you've got any questions in regards to any taxes, we're happy to meet with any of you on a complimentary basis. We've talked about this before. You could call our office, 949-859-8900. We'd be happy to sit down with you. Also, if you'd like a copy of our Consumer's Guide to Finding the Right Retirement Advisor, we'd be happy to send that out to you at no cost. It's great to have you here with us today. This is the Retirement Advisor, Dan O'Weiler, wishing you a happy retirement.
We're a family business. I have my wife, my 2 sons that work in the business with me. So we really actually are a family run business. We call them our extended family. We do it from the moment they walk into the office. But we actually have personal relationships and friendships with our clients.
They're not just a client, they are part of our friends and family.
That's what we do here at Sterling Financial Advisors. We help people get peace of mind and quality of life in retirement.